All right.
Okay.
One of the other media questions we kept getting asked over and over and over again is how come at an election time where we had a woman, a female candidate, and an African-American candidate, why we weren't supporting them? And I've been asked, how come you don't support a female candidate? How come you don't support an African-American candidate? And I told them we absolutely support a female and an African-American candidate. That's why we support Cynthia McKinney. The media doesn't want to talk about Cynthia because Cynthia's speaking the truth. So I'm going to let her come up here and tell you what she has to say. Let's give a round of applause for Cynthia McKinney.
Thank you very much. You're the best. Our country has been hijacked. Democrats have proven themselves to have been in on the plan. When it came to the Constitution, the Democratic leadership showed us that aiding and abetting illegal spying on us was more important to them than protecting our civil liberties. When it came to war and occupation, the Democratic leadership showed us that financing an illegal and immoral war based on lies was more important to them than the people's desire for peace. And when the people, hurting from the financial mismanagement of this country, called for accountability for the crimes that have been committed against the people here, against the global community, against nature itself, the Democratic leadership took impeachment off the table. Grassroots Democratic Party activists want a livable wage, a Medicare for all type of health care system, repeal of the Bush tax cuts that have ushered in the greatest income inequality in this country since the Great Depression. But the Democratic Party has shown itself to be incapable of providing even a semblance of the values even of its own activists. The Democratic Party's national leadership didn't even mention Hurricanes Katrina and Rita survivors in the congressional agenda for the first 100 days. The Democratic Party's national leadership gave us the Iran Naval Blockade Bill, the Violent Radicalization and Homegrown Terrorism Prevention Act, and telecom immunity. They continue to fund war and occupation to the tune of $720 million a day, while our children graduate from college tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. Entire cities are going into receivership, while the Democratic leadership in Congress gives the Pentagon $1/2 trillion annually with no accountability, no strings attached. That's over and above spending for war. Abu Ghraib and Guantanamo are the hallmarks of the new U.S. gulag Democrats are helping to create. They want us to believe that China and Russia are our enemies, in addition to the 60 countries on Dick Cheney's list. They want us to believe that a religion is our enemy. They want us to believe that workers who come to this country to support their families after Democratic leadership in this country saddled workers with NAFTA are our enemies. But we are here today to declare that we know who the real enemies are.
That's right.
Those false patriots that George Washington warned us of, who wrap themselves in the flag while betraying our values. We are the true patriots. We know that the strength of this country lies in the way it countenances dissent. And we are here to dissent. We are not deterred by reports of sleek new detention facilities, or recently acquired taser guns that kill. For we come to dissent in peace. Indeed, we dissent for peace. Today, we declare our independence from conformity and go along to get along politics. We declare our readiness to be radical in pursuit of peace and in our hunger for justice. We can see clearly now who the real stick-up artists are, and that's why we're in Denver. Our actions here this week begin the disarming of the hijackers. We no longer are afraid, and we won't be deceived. We know that a vote for the Democrats is a vote for more war in Afghanistan and other parts of the world. But today, we are now free. Free to stand on the 4 pillars guiding our political engagement: environmental wisdom, peace, grassroots democracy, and social justice. And finally, we know our power. We know the power of the people. We know that true power rests in the hands of the people. People who are willing to take a stand. We need look no further than Haiti, Cote d'Ivoire, Spain, and India to see the power of the people at the ballot box. No further than Brazil, Venezuela, Chile, Argentina, Ecuador, Bolivia, Nicaragua, and Paraguay to know that if they can do it, so too can we, provided our elections are fair. And if the Democrats cave in the face of fraud, disfranchisement, and theft, as they did in 2000 and as they did again in 2004, then we will be there to demand election integrity. All over this country, the signs are there. People from New York to Florida, Washington State to Colorado, to Texas and California are liberating themselves. We must not stop. Our country is worth it. Let's take our country back. Power to the people.